Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is Hardware Despair. My name is Ryan, and today we are playing the Unreal World. And this is our tutorial series, episode number 2. I appreciate everybody who's watched, and especially appreciate the person who commented and left me a super thanks. Thank you very much. Let's do it. So I have come back with the next episode as requested. Here we are, standing by our water. And we got a tree just by us. I think this is a good spot to set up our first shelter. Now, if we pull back a little bit, okay, we're at the maximum zoom. You can see we do have a trap just up here to the north. That's what this little, oops, that's what this little red circle is right here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that. Very good. And that's the trap. So we are going to set many more of those. We're going to set them on this map tile, and we'll travel to other map tiles to do more traps as well. But first, and I probably should have done this first in my demonstration, but I just wanted to show you guys how to do the trap. Really, we should have done a shelter first, but that's okay. We can still do it. It's not like it's winter right now, and we're super worried about our temperature. If it was winter, then yeah, a shelter's the first thing you need to do. But for now, we should be okay setting it up as our second task, which is basically where we're at now. So what we need to do is we need to find a different kind of tree. This pine tree right here in front of me, if you look, actually it's not a pine, it's a spruce. It says there's a young spruce blocking your path. So that's the particular kind of tree we're going to need to start our shelter up. We need to take some of the branches off of this spruce tree, because the branches you get from a spruce and the branches you get from a tree like this are different. Okay, so that's, I think, as far as I know, too, it's just these two trees. The spruce is the only one that offers like spruce branches. Every other tree you come across is just going to have the regular kind of branch that's described here just as branches. So let me go ahead and peel some of these off. You'll see we're going to go skills for S. We're doing S, and then that's timbercraft. So we want to do M, and then T. T to cut branches and twigs from the tree. And it's just asking us to hit spacebar to confirm it. There we go. And I'm going to do it twice. Now, I've got some at my feet, 12 of them there, but I think we need at least 20 or 15. So you're going to need to do it twice. So I'm just going to hit R to repeat that last command, because we have that ability down here on the bottom. You can see it says R repeat, cut branches, twigs from ... tree. So let's do that. Confirm. Beautiful. Now we're picking those up. I want all of those in my inventory. Next, I just want to make sure, yes, I do have enough regular branches and enough slender trunks now to make a shelter. If I didn't have any branches or slender trunks, I would need to get those as well. But we've already gotten those, so we're prepared to start working on our first shelter. Now I am going to put it, I'm not going to put it directly on the water. I think I'll put it 2 back from it. So we're next to this tree. That's fairly important. I do want my shelter right next to the tree, but not next to the water. And we'll get into that later, so don't worry about that just yet. But for now, this spot I'm standing on is exactly where I'm going to build it. So I need to actually step back, and that way I can put it in the same position I was just standing. Now, first, let me go back here. So we're going to do the skills tree again. And then for B, for building, we're going to hit the B button there. So B. Now, shelter as well as like whole wooden buildings can be constructed in this game, and they all fall under the building option. But we're looking for this one that says shelter, S. That's basically the most primitive structure you can get, and that's what we're looking for to start with. So I'm going to hit S. And now it's asking me, what direction do I want to build this location of construction here? So the only thing is you can't build it right where you're standing. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to select the downward. So we put it right in front of where our guy's standing. Also, quick note, if I try to do, for instance, behind me where I can't see, it'll say, you please pick a direction where you can see. So you just need to be facing there. Okay, so I'm going to select it and then confirm it. Oh, what did it say? Area must be free of obstacles. It is. Well, that's weird. Hold on. SBS. Down. There we go. I must have hit the wrong button. Okay, so we actually got it to complete in one go. That's a little bit unusual. I think it's probably, Yeah, my building, we're talented builders, as you can see here. We're at 65%. That's the reason why. If we were a novice, like at the same level as agriculture, that would have probably taken us multiple attempts to get that constructed. But I knew ahead of time building's a very important skill, so I did allocate extra points to that just for this reason. So now we've got a fully constructed shelter. And by the way, on a side note, if it wasn't fully constructed, it would just look like a shadow. You would see it, it would still be there, but it would just kind of be like a shadow, kind of indicating where the shelter is to be built, but that it's still under construction. Okay, so now we've got our shelter. I can actually start dropping stuff in here. I'm going to drop some of the twigs. Actually, I'm just going to drop all this stuff here real quick. Yeah, and I will keep the... No, I don't need the rocks. I have a spear, so if I need, I can throw my spear. Sometimes it's good to have rocks on you if you don't have any other weapons but like a knife. If you come across a squirrel, for instance, who's trapped in a tree, it's good to have a pocket full of rocks with you so you can throw those. But other than that, they kind of just weigh you down. So I'm going to step forward and take a drink out of this water. I'm going to hit the Q button. Q is assigned to drinking from any source nearby or in your pocket. And the most nearby source is this water. So it's asking me, do I want to drink from natural source? Yes. Boom. So our water's taken care of. Let's hit E now to eat because we are hungry, or we're getting there. I'm going to eat one of those roasted pieces, and it's still not done. So you can see whenever it pops the screen back up, it means you're not fully satisfied, and your guy wants you to keep eating, basically. You don't have to. I could conserve my food and just hit escape and be like, no, that's all you get, dude. I'm going to make you, and we probably should do that because I don't have a lot of food. So with that being the case, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Now we need to go ahead and get some more traps laid because all I have is a spear. I don't have a bow and arrow, which makes like active hunting pretty difficult. Like you're not going to hit stuff with a spear on your first try unless you happen to be really, really lucky. But I mean, it's possible, but it's not reliable. So that being the case, what we want to do is probably go get some more big stones so that we can make more traps. Now remember, there's rocks and there's stones. So these little rocks I have, 3-pounders, those aren't what we need. We need stones, which are big and very heavy. So I'd like to go pick some of those up. Now I know just from personal experience that these marshes, although they're great to hunt in because there's not a lot of trees and stuff, they have very few stones. So this is not a great place to do a lot of stone hunting. So I'm going to jump out here. I hit the enter button and that brings me to the world map. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some very, very light exploring. Keep in mind when you're traveling, time is passing. So I'm getting hungrier. I'm getting thirstier. If I was injured or something, bleeding, that would be getting worse, but I'm not. I'm just saying so. And when you're on the world map itself, time will move even faster than when you're zoomed in on this particular, the action map or whatever you want to call this map, the normal map here. Oh, but look at this. I just zoomed in for demonstration purposes and I noticed there's a stone on the ground. I'm going to go grab that. Okay, and there's another thing I should probably mention. I like to get into a habit of going into stealth mode. So let's zoom in real quick. I'm going to show you stealth mode. This is another reason when I went early on when we chose skills. This is why I said you don't really need to put points in your stealth because I have a habit of turning stealth on all the time. So if you look at my little character, he's kind of yellow. You can see he doesn't have much going on. He's just normal colored. If I hit the H button, that turns him kind of green. He kind of matches the background now. So he is in fact gone stealth. And he will remain that way until something sees him or until I tell him to get out of it. See that? He's still in stealth mode. Now, it doesn't slow him down or anything. But what it does do is it steadily builds up your stealth skill. So the more we do this, the higher that skill is going to get. So again, that's why I like to keep myself basically in stealth all the time. Now, when you zoom back out, there is no stealth mode on the world map, so you don't have to worry about that. If I hit H, it does nothing. Yeah, you have to be on the local terrain map. That's what it's officially called there. So what we're looking for, as I mentioned, is some stones. Now, in my experience, stones are most easily located on mountains or hills, and I think we just located one. So it's hard to see. You really have to learn to distinguish the terrain types just through experience and trial and error. But this right here ahead of me, that is a mountain. And it's just a lone hill kind of out in the middle of these plains, which is a bit unusual. Normally you see mountains clustered together. Oh no, it wasn't. It was like a mirage. I was wrong. It was just a shadow there, but that was not a mountain. So, in the absence of any hills or mountains, which, like I said, it would be pretty unusual to find one just sitting here out in the middle of nowhere, what we want to find is some water, like a body of water, because there's always stones around a lake. Ah, now I see there's a tiny little piece of water right up here. Okay, beautiful. See this? It's hard to see it because it's just one square's worth, but there it is right there ahead of me. So I'm going to step to it. You can't walk on it, obviously, because it's water. You can't walk on water. So we're going to enter next to it on the shore, and here we are. We are right next to the shore. I'm going to turn around. I like to kind of survey my area, just see what's around me. And immediately you can see we've got stones on the ground here. So for whatever reason, stones always spawn near the banks of lakes and big bodies of water. So it's a very handy place if you can't find mountains and stuff, because those are a bit more rare. Unless you're in the high northern areas, it's a bit rare to find mountains. Okay, now we've come to an important thing here. Remember, another thing I talked about initially was take all the points out of climbing and swimming, because you want to never do those things. They're too risky. You will get yourself killed doing them. Even if you have high skill, it's still a chance to die. So this right here, you can see, it's not going to let me zoom in because I'm locked into this question real quick, but it's asking me if I really want to climb this cliff. There's a cliff here. It's hard to see it, but every time you're asked or you go to a position where you'll need to climb, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this? And I always say, no, I'll go around that. I'm going to find a different place. And here you can see the cliff is kind of delineated with that dark line. So if I were to walk here, there's the cliff too. See, it's asking me, do I want to climb that? No. So if we look, if I go around, there's probably no cliff here. Yeah, the cliff ends right here. Again, it's really hard to distinguish some of these terrain features, but it's just trial and error. That's all it is. All right, so I'm going to zoom back out so I can actually see a little bit better and get some stones going. Going into stealth mode, as I say. I try and, as soon as I get to the local terrain map, I try and go into stealth mode immediately. All right, oh, that's a big pile. Two rocks and a stone right there. So if you just want to basically take all, I just hit the plus button, the plus button, and that will select everything, and then you hit enter. Oops, no, I'm sorry. You hit the plus button, then hit space. My bad, not enter. Enter is what will take on or off more items. Okay, so we've got some more stone here. I'm going to go around this entire lake since it's not very big, and I'm going to pick up as many stones as this guy can carry. Okay, well, I've gone and picked up 13 stones, and we also got 13 rocks. Now, I can carry more, believe it or not. This is not my maximum carrying weight. I don't really know what it is. It's not really explicit. It doesn't tell you, but you can see here that 218 pounds is what I've got on me. And again, remember when I said during character creation that you want as big a person as possible? The bigger your person is, the more he can carry. Now, the strength is going to factor into that, but if you've got a guy that's 180 pounds with max strength, versus somebody who's 270 pounds with max strength, you know the bigger person's going to be able to carry more stones and tree trunks and stuff. So I like the bigger bodied people. Now, we're going to leave this terrain map, and we're going back to the world map. I want you to notice a couple of things here. We are tired, but more importantly, we're comfortably warm. So tired is not the end of the world. You can push your guy even until he drops, basically, and he'll just fall down and sleep a little bit and then wake back up, and you can keep moving. It's not advised to do it because you can get him like illnesses and stuff if you push him super hard. But tired's not the end of the world. Warmth is the end of the world. If you get down to freezing, you're going to die. But right now, that's not a concern because we're not in that season. I just wanted to point out that tiredness is not the end of the world. In fact, I'm going to make this trek down here back to our home, knowing that I'll be pretty tired. Yeah, we're going to be weary when we get there. Where was our home? Hold on. Now if we look at the world map, I hit F6 to get to this map. You can see it's actually indicated here. I'm going to zoom all the way in. So we're looking at a very, very small portion of the map, just basically what we've opened up. And you can see there's a trap marked on this map. Now, our shelter's not marked here because I think it is. No, it is. It's covered up by the trap. There's the shelter icon. I can see the corner of it. But anyway, that's helpful to me because now I know. It's easy to kind of lose yourself sometimes on this world map. But all Our shelter should be right there. There it is. It popped up. Do you see it? As soon as it came into our visual range, we got it. Oh, now here we want to watch it. This is becoming critical. Warmth, chilly. Your hands are cold. What this is telling me is that if I don't make a fire soon, we're going to get frostbite in our hands. That's what, and we need to make gloves down the road or buy some. So let's go ahead and enter our shelter. And yes, here we are. Very good. Very good. Nothing's in the trap. I'm always looking to that trap that we set. See, there's no birds or squirrels in it, so nothing yet, but don't worry. We'll get something eventually. Now, first things first, I'm going to drop all the rocks, and I'm going to drop 10 of the stones. I'm keeping 3 on me because we're going to make some more traps here, probably in the morning. Now, we are very cold, so let me zoom in. It makes it easier to see what's going on. I'm going to push some debris, some firewood in front of me here so that we can start a fire. Let's see, 6. Actually, I'm just going to push all those in there. I don't have any bigger wood, or I would use that. I like to keep some branches around, but we can always get more branches here. We're just very cold, so we need to address that immediately. Boom. All right, now that's a pretty small fire. It might not last the full night. So what I'm going to do is we're going to eat a little bit before bed. And that's it, though. I'm not going to let them eat anything else. Let's also drink. And I just noticed, too, I need to fill this skin. So instead of going to inventory and trying to select your skin, that's not going to do anything. What you need to do is hit the A button for action. So A equals action. And the only real thing we can do anything with right now is the skin. So I'm going to select it, fill with water or milk, pour something else into it. So we want this first one. It's kind of weird, worded a little awkwardly, but just look at the first part. Fill with water. That's what we're doing. Now it's saying you fill the skin with water. So if we go back to our inventory, you can see now it actually weighs more. And I just forgot to do that earlier. So it's important. It's good to have water on your person. It's actually fairly easy to find water in this world. Even if it's in the middle of winter, you can just break the ice on any lake and drink. So you shouldn't be dying of water in this game. Food, you might. But water, no. If you're dying of water, you're doing something wrong. But anyway, let's get back into our shelter. And I'm a little worried that this fire is going to go out. But I'm going to go ahead and sleep. So in order to sleep, you hit the shift button plus the Z button. And that's going to lay me down and fall asleep. Okay. The fire went out, but we're fine. Warmth is fine. It's late morning. Enough time passed that the sun came back up. We're vigorous. We were inside our shelter, so we probably retained a lot of heat because of that. If I had tried to sleep out on the ground here, this rain would have woken me up. So you can't sleep out under the stars, so to speak, when there's active weather about too. So keep that in mind. That's one of the critical reasons why you need a shelter. If I hadn't had a shelter, we wouldn't have been able to fall asleep. Okay, now there's a couple things I want to note. We've got inventory full of branches, slender trunks, and 3 stones. So we've got enough here to make 3 different traps. 3 lever traps is what we're going to be making, which is the same as the one we've got up north. Now there's 2 other things I want to point out real quick. Is you can see over here, maybe you've noticed that my wielded weapons and tools has been empty this whole time. If I had a bow and arrow, I would already be wielding it, but one thing we can do, make our lives a little easier in case we come into combat, which is unlikely, but in case it were to happen, I can hit W, and it'll pull up my available weapons that I can wield in one of these spaces, and I'm going to put my spear in my hand, so I'm going to select that. Boom, now you can see it's wielded here. So I can switch it back and forth too by hitting Control X. Oh, is it Control X? It's one of the buttons, but if I were to, for instance, need to switch my hands or something, then I could do that, but we don't need to worry about that. For now, you can understand the fact that this weapon is wielded and it's ready to go. So I've literally got a spear in my hands. You won't see it on your character, but it's there. So you know that's there. Now, the next thing I wanted to point out is we've got some berries here. So looks like they are literally just coming in. I don't know if we can pick them, but you see how they got a little blue on them. So if I hit the pickup button, which is the comma, Oh no, it says it will be fully ripe after a few months. So this is a northern bilberry shrub here. It isn't ripe for harvesting. A few more months, yikes. Okay, well that just means we need to get on our traps here, don't we? So, oh, again, I'm going to go into stealth mode. Try and remember that whenever you're moving around. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set 3 traps, but we're going to set them on this screen right here. You know, some people might say, oh, it's not smart to put them on the same map you're sleeping on, but it works. Trust me, I've caught plenty of birds doing this strategy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set some traps at the very edge of our visual field. So if I sit here, I want to basically determine what's the farthest point I can put like a trap here and still see it, you know, in full daylight and stuff. So I'm going to try and, it's pretty blank down here. There's nothing really to, like, no landmarks that I can measure by. So I'm going to try and set it just basically right here where my cursor's at. So let's bypass the lake real quick and put it, it's about right here. We'll see. We can always move it, so that's important. So let me do that slowly here. S for skills, R for traps, and then 1 for the light lever trap. And I'm just going to put it right in front of me. Boom. So there it is. It is set. Now let's go back to our shelter and just test it. I just want to make sure it's close enough. Yeah, okay, so it's actually pretty perfect. I could have gotten it 1 square farther and it would have been perfect, but that's fine. That's fine. In fact, this one up here, it could be pushed back a little bit too, but I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to quickly set our other 2 traps. Now this one should be easy because I'm just going to put it right there between those 2 little puddles. That's kind of how I'm measuring it now. This one is going to be in a perfect spot. Boom, there we go. And you'll also notice I'm not putting any bait in these. For one, I don't have any bait, and number 2, it's not necessary. It might help increase chances a little bit, but I've caught plenty of game birds with no bait. All right, what is that? Oh, there's a branch right there. All right, I'm just going to set this bad boy down like right here. That's fine. All right, perfect. So let's go back. That one's still a little close. I could probably move that one, but no, that's fine. So we've got 4 traps set here at our location. Now the next step would be to move to a different map tile and then zoom in and set traps there. So that's what we're going to do. Let me pick some stuff up real quick. Okay, I've got some stones and some branches on me now, but I also need, what are they called? The slender trunks. Okay, it's not a full tree trunk, it's like a slender tree trunk. And you usually get those by chopping down these small trees. Now, first of all, this one here next to me, I'm never going to chop that one down. That one is strictly for sticks and branches. This one here I'll probably keep too, just because it's there. It's close. But I'm also not going to chop down any of the trees on this map. We're just going to do that at whatever site we choose, because there's trees everywhere, trust me. Now, while we're on this world map, it's important to note that if we had a bow and arrow and I was going to do some active hunting as opposed to just placing traps, I would be on the lookout for any animals that will appear, because that's how you're going to see things. Like if you're going out hunting with a bow and arrow and that's what your goal is, you're going to come to this world map and you're going to move around hoping to see deer or moose or even bears and stuff pop up. Right now, I don't see anything, but we will. Trust me, we'll come across some animals eventually. So let's get back to our traps, though, because in absence of the proper weapons or any game at all, we need to do some passive hunting. We need traps. So I'm going to come basically a straight line north. So you can see our shelter's right down there to the south of me. I'm going to come right up to the edge of this tree line right here and stop. And then we're going to zoom in. And okay, cool. So we're in the local terrain map. I've gone into stealth mode. You can see there's little trees everywhere. So I'm going to cut one of these down because, like I said, we need the trunks for our traps. So SMF and space. Yep. So those landed on the ground. We've got 5 of them laying there. I'm not even going to pick up all 5. I'm just taking 3 because that's how many stones I brought with me. I have 3 stones and enough branches for 3 traps. So what we're going to do, I'd like to move around. Okay, perfect. I'd like to move until I find some of these right here. So this is not berries. Oh, it is a berry. It says memorable berry bush, which means since it gives it some like random adjective like that, memorable, it means we don't really know what this is. So if it S, E for herb lore, and then I point it in that direction, see, it tells me, we actually discovered it. Okay, so it's a crowberry shrub. It is edible. It's completely known to us now. So what I'd like to do... Oh, are some of these actually ready to harvest? No. Oh, that one is. So the blue bushes actually have berries on them. Wow, those are the earliest berries of the spring of the season. So what I'd like to do is place our traps directly on these bushes. I think that's probably a smart move because the birds are going to come to these bushes. And we can do that, and that means we don't even really need to bait them. Okay, so there's the first one. I'm going to move them away from each other. One thing, I've noticed this happen before. It's probably extremely rare, but it can happen. If I set a trap right next to this one, like this, you will catch birds mostly, but occasionally you might catch a fox. And so if you catch a bird in one and a fox in the other and they're still alive, the fox will kill and eat the bird. So that's one reason why I found not to place traps directly next to each other. I mean, one space between them will solve that problem. So I'm going to take this trap down. We haven't really discussed that, but let's do it now. So it's going to be skills, S for skills, and then R for trapping. And then look down here at the very bottom. It says disassemble trap construction with D. And that's going to confirm what direction. Boom. And it just drops whatever components are on the ground. I can pick them up. And now I can set the trap right here next to it. Perfect. All right, now we've got two traps set on those berry bushes. I'm just going to set another one right here. They don't need to be far away. I don't know if you just noticed it. It was happening in a sped up time, but a bird did just fly through here. Do we see it? Oh, it was a squirrel. Never mind, it wasn't a bird. See, it says it right here because it actually broke us out of our stealth. See, it says squirrel seems to notice your hideout. You quit hiding and sneaking. Squirrel flees. So there is a squirrel around here. Let's zoom out. I might be able to get this sucker. I'm going to go back into hiding. Oh, no, I can't. So if you hit H and it won't allow you to hide, you can't hide because you are clearly seen. That means there's an animal near us that can see us right now. I bet you it's the squirrel. I just don't see him yet. He's got to be up in a tree. Now, most animals don't go into trees, but the squirrels definitely do. And it's hard to sometimes see. Oh, was that him? I thought I saw him down here in this tree. Oh, I've lost him. Yeah, and now we're able to sneak again, so he's out of our visual range. He must have been like running away and just like turned to look over his back and saw us. So I'm not sure where he went. But I'm not going to go on a wild goose chase. It's very important when actively hunting things is to know your limit and to know when to say, okay, I can't catch this animal. I have to be done with it. But check it out. I just noticed there he is right there. He's in the upper right. I was looking down here for some reason, but he's right there. Okay, so that changes things. That means we can probably kill this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak. We're still in stealth mode. He doesn't see us yet. What we want to do is corner him up in a tree. If I keep him on the ground like this and just chase him, he'll just run away from us forever, and he's way faster than us. Okay, now he is in run mode. It's hard to tell because it's raining, but he's actually got a little graphic below his feet that indicate he's running right now. And see, he's like double timing it. Yeah, for every one move we make, he's making like 2 moves. See that? He's super fast. So what we want is to get him to go. Oh, no. Dang it. Okay, wait. He just turned. See, when he started to head for these woods, that's when I said, dang it. Because if they get lost up in those woods, you're not going to find them. He's still there. See him? He's kind of chilling. See, maybe he'll go in a tree. If you just want to pass time without moving, you can hit the 5 button, which is the middle button in the directional pad. That'll just pass time. That's just like one tick. And I'm just waiting to see. Every time I hit it, I'm hoping yep, there he goes. He's moving. Okay, now we can hide again and kind of track him a little bit. Oh, did he? I think he just disappeared. Oh, there he is. He went behind a tree for a second. Okay, I think he's in a tree now. Oh, is that him? There he is. Okay, it's very hard to see because of the rain, but he is in that tree to the right. He is right there. His little icon is moving. And again, it's the rain. It's super hard to see. Now, this is a situation where I really wish I had some stones or some rocks. The only thing I have is my spear. And it's not like I'm really worried about losing this thing, but it makes it harder to have to pick it up every time. All right, so here's what I'm doing. We have the spear wielded, so that means I can immediately throw it because it's in my hand. I'm ready. It's cocked. I can throw it. So I'm going to hit the T button. Now, if it wasn't wielded, like we had taken that step earlier, I would need to wield it first. So that's why it's important, because you can get a step behind if you don't have your spear ready to go, and you stumble upon a squirrel or something. So I'm going to go to T for throw. All right, now it's asking me, what do I want to throw? My water skin? No, I want to throw the spear. So I select spear. Now it's asking me what direction, what square. So you can see there's the little circle. Because it's a ranged weapon, a spear, I can throw it multiple tiles. It doesn't have to be directly next to me. Of course, I want to get as close as possible, so we're going to try it right on this squirrel. Again, it's very hard to see because of the rain. Sorry about that, but I'm going to hit the squirrel, or try to hit it. All right, now it's asking me what am I aiming at? The body, head, arms, legs. Gives you a kind of degree of difficulty. We're just going for a body shot. I don't really care. Did we get it? You execute a steady throw. The spear hits a tree. So I need to go find my spear. To be honest, I'm not really willing. There it is. Okay, I'm standing on the spear. You see it says you see a Kamala spear. That means I'm standing on it. So I'm going to pick it up. You pick up the spear. Now I need to wield it again. And now I could throw it if I wanted to. Yeah, okay, he's right below me. All right, I'm going to try it again. I probably shouldn't because I hate throwing my spear around like this, but we might actually get him. No. No, we missed it. Now I kind of have to look for my spear. Oh, crap, where is it? Right now I'm blindly picking. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I was just blindly picking up things in a circle. I couldn't really tell where it was, so I just started picking up anything. All right, let's go. Oh, he moved. He's in this tree, right? Oh, there he is. All right, let's try it again. It's not really like I'm at risk of losing this spear, but it could get damaged. Oh, did we get him? We scratched its shoulder. So it says it. We strayed at the squirrel, doesn't make it out of the way. The spear scratches its shoulder. It didn't fall, though. Otherwise, I would see it right there at the feet of the tree. There it is. It's in the tree behind us now. Let's keep going. We got it. We got a taste of its blood. We got to get it. All right, wield. T to throw. Aim. Select what shot. And missed it. All right, let me pick it up. Wield. T. Oh, he's moved. He's behind me now. I really want to get this squirrel just for basically educational purposes. So let me keep messing with it. And as soon as I kill this sucker, I will bring you guys right back. Okay, well, the worst case scenario happened. The squirrel got out of the tree and started running away from me into the forest. So there's virtually no way I can track him right now. So he is a lost cause. I'm just going to zoom out, call it quits on the squirrel. Now, I do kind of want to return. Actually, it doesn't matter. If I just leave right now at this space. Oh, he's still too close to us. So if an animal is too close to you, or a person, an enemy, is too close within your vicinity, you can't just exit the map. It won't let you just like opt out of battles and stuff that way. So even if it's a squirrel, so we're just going to need to kind of get out of its location, because I'm sure, what is it, following me or something? There we go. Okay, so I can zoom out now. The problem is if we come back to this tile here, I'm going to be nearer to, where we left the squirrel than I will be to where we left the traps. Because it kind of just enters you where you last left off. See, okay. So now in the interest of like future efficiency, I'm going to leave this map tile here near the traps. So that when I return, we'll enter right here near the traps, okay? So we can see it a lot easier. All right, we're going to go home empty-handed today. Unfortunately, we did not get a squirrel. Let's just take a quick peek. Let's go to our shelter. No birds in our traps. But you can kind of see why it's so nice to set up a spot here where there's no trees around you and you can set these traps. Because, like I say, they will start producing. We will start getting birds from these suckers. It just takes a little time and patience. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial series. I really hope you're enjoying it. If so, hit like, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. Check the description down there for links to my Discord and Twitter pages, and I will see you on the next episode. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and now check out this fan art by a couple of my Discord members, Finn and Vita. It's pretty good, and I love the cuttlefish.